Hi, welcome to the scope of Stuart's Lower School Renovation. We're here with Darren Malone, Stuart's Director of Facilities and Sustainable Planning. Hi, Darren.
Hi, Risa.
And Darren's going to walk us through and talk us through a tour today. We're very excited. It's really come a long way, and things are happening fast and furiously. So without further ado, we'll get started. Okay.
Well, welcome everybody. We are in a position where we are coming through the main entry into Millie's Garden, the central area of our lower school renovation. What we're looking at here is Mrs. Machowski's future office, which is much more open and receptive to visitors and students coming downstairs into Millie's Garden. As we move forward, the first space that we come into off of the entry is the back of our performance stage and into our lower school assembly area, which is part of Millie's Garden. Ultimately, this will be furnished with comfortable furniture and benches and take on the feeling of a tree in a garden and functions as the central gathering space for the entire lower school.
Should we stop and show them a really quick picture of the renderings of what it will look like when we're done so they can envision? I'll walk you out here. You can see we have the view of the garden here, which will be this whole entire wall. Those boards will be replaced with new glass. Actually, all of the windows will be replaced. Okay.
And this view here is essentially what we just walked through. We came into the back side of the performance stage, walked around it, and then looked at the windows beyond.
Okay, and we'll just quickly show you the other space there. That's from the other windows. All right. Let's continue with our tour. Thank you, Darren.
Walking into the Millie's Garden, if we look a little to the left, we'll see Mrs. Dowling's office, the head of the lower school's office. The big opening will be a large door and window into Millie's Garden for Mrs. Dowling.
Okay. And there's the kindergarten playground, which is open to the entire space as well. So you have light and windows on both sides of the space.
As we move down this section, to our right is the raised library on a hill within Millie's Garden, which we'll touch on a little bit more. And what we're getting ready to walk down is known as our Pebble Pathway. This is sort of the reading nook of the lower school hub, Millie's Garden, and it'll be furnished again with soft furniture.
Imagine,
and,
if you will, like
bookshelves.
pillows, like almost like
beanbag chairs.
Yeah, kind of like big boulders, but soft ones.
Things for kids to read and envision and work in a collaborative way.
Excellent.
Moving around the library on a hill, we come into what is the arts and crafts area. So we have on the right-hand side a wall that is our arts and crafts wall. It includes pin-up space and arts and crafts storage space. To the left, it's not here yet, but it'll be here tomorrow, is our arts and crafts cabinetry area. So we'll have some full-height cabinets and a wall oven, and then a countertop with a nice sink for the arts and crafts area.
So they might be cooking, it sounds like, down in the lower school.
They'll be cooking in the lower school.
All right, where are we going now?
So we are walking through the arts and crafts area, and as we take a left, this is the connecting hallway to the area that was previously the lower school library and is in the future going to be a junior kindergarten classroom and 2 kindergarten classrooms. And as we move through the space, first on our left is Mrs. Pecknolte's office, the lower school guidance counselor's office.
Yep, looks like it needs a new ceiling.
Oh, those are details. And then on the right-hand side is the new, larger lower school copy storage room. So we'll have cabinetry in here, the copier, the computer carts, etc. So this is a larger version of what we had previously.
Great.
This hallway, it connects to the hallway that forms our, what you might call the early childhood section of the lower school renovation. So we've just walked into a vestibule. To the right is the junior kindergarten classroom. To the left is one of the kindergarten classrooms. And then down the hall towards the wooden wall, which is going to be a glass wall, is
With
the
doors,
other.
right? So
There's
there'll
a
be
door
doors
to the
there.
lower school playground and windows, and that'll go out to the lower school playground. And then this is the other kindergarten classroom.
Again, with full floor-to-ceiling windows. And these two kindergarten classrooms are connected, if I'm right?
They are. Each of our classrooms is connected so that they can function independently or together as a pair. The model for the program is that science, technology, engineering, and math occur in one of the classrooms per grade level, and things like language arts, social studies,
And world
etc.
language. Yeah, absolutely. They do Spanish. Yeah.
Operate in the other classroom. So 2 homerooms in the kindergarten level will function as one collaborative classroom environment where they're broken up more by discipline than they are by homeroom.
Okay.
One of the things that we did in this area is replaced the old window system with a new window system. Previously, from the midpoint, or not quite midpoint, but from here down was an opaque panel, and it was replaced with new glass so that these classrooms, similar to the classrooms in the rest of the building, have floor-to-ceiling windows and a really wonderful view of the landscape, even to a child that's 4 or 5 years old.
Great. And I think down there somewhere is our stream.
Somewhere down there is our stream.
Somewhere down there is the stream.
And much-needed rain is about to make its way into
And the
our
beginning
stream.
of our nature path is right there. Goes through the 55 acres of Stuart land and woods.
And our lower school garden will be moving over to this area just outside these windows
Great.
by the start of the school year.
That's Mrs. Ectornuts, right?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
correct.
So that'll be a fun project for the kindergarten to work on.
And then in all these classrooms, in addition to having the windows to the outside, there are windows to the common and corridor spaces. So as we stand here, this big opening in the wall, which has nothing in it currently, will be a door and glass side light, so that when you're in the corridor, it never feels like you're in the sort of depths of a hallway, but you'll always have views to the outside. There's really only a couple of spots in the entire renovation where you don't have a view directly to the outside.
Oh, great. And down there again is the doors to the outside. So the light coming in from the end of the hallway.
That's correct.
Just like Lava 2 did.
Yes.
All right, now where are we going?
So we will now pass through the library on a hill. So the concept behind this, so the metaphor of Millie's garden, is that within a garden or landscape environment, there's rolling and undulating landscapes, and so the architects have given us this raised platform in which our library sits. So it's a library on a hill. Helps break up the space while maintaining that it flows visually from one place to another. To this area here, this is going to be the circulation desk and librarian's desk area with cabinets and workspaces in the back and a circulation desk in the front. And the search computers, there'll be 2 search computers for the collection. They'll exist here in this area on cabinetry that's coming.
That's great. So I see you've brought the library into the sort of gathering space where the students are, instead of having it be a separate room off to the side.
Yes, the old model was a model where the library existed behind closed doors in a quote-unquote far-off room, and that time in the library was scheduled, and therefore access was restricted. The idea of this renovation is that the library, the arts and crafts area, the gathering space, the technology that exists within those areas are all immediately accessible to the students and to the teachers in the lower school. So the idea is that not that the library is isolated from these other areas, but is completely engaged in the learning opportunities for the students.
Great. So even though we're touting STEM for girls, it's important to remember not to forget the books.
That's correct. So we've now just walked into our first and second grade classrooms. There are 2 first grade, 2 second grade classrooms. What you'll see is that there is a corridor that runs down the wall to the outside, the glass wall to the outside, that is an interior circulation area for connection directly to Millie's Garden. So again, the model exists that 2 classrooms, 2 first grade classrooms, are 2 separate homerooms but function during the academic day as 1 grade level where by discipline children move back and forth, whether they're working in science, technology, world language, social studies, etc. And that we envision that 99% of the time the sliding wall panels that separate 2 first grade classrooms will remain open. So this is a pocket where our sliding wall panels will recess. This is a wide opening that's anticipated to be open all the time, but should there be a need to function as 2 separate classrooms, the teacher will close the wall and we'll have 2 separate classrooms.
And I see that you can see the hallway over there. It looks like the hallway got a little narrower to make more room for the classrooms?
We did. Previously the hallway was extremely wide and dark and long. And one of the things that's been a tremendous difference is that the hallway will form our area with the lockers and cubbies. I should say cubbies, not lockers. There will be wooden open cubbies for boot storage, book bag storage, and coats. And it also functions as sort of gathering nooks for each of the grade levels. So we are now looking back towards the main entry to the lower school. This curved wall is the back side of Mrs. Dowling's office, and the corridor to the right connects us to Millie's Garden.
Okay. There we go. And these are the first and second grade classrooms,
First and
correct?
second grade classrooms. And again, where the large openings exist in the wall, those will be windows and doors into the classrooms. So again, when you're in the corridor, you never feel as though you're just in the dark depths of a downstairs corridor, but you have views directly through the classrooms and into the lower school playground and gardens outside.
And I don't know if you all can hear the thunder. We're having a little thunderstorm here.
And again, what you had mentioned before, this corridor used to be very, very wide and really quite empty. We've narrowed it down to give more space to the classrooms while maintaining it to be open and wide enough to function well with the lower school cubbies. And as you see, the ramp that takes us up into the back side of the Corunum building has been cut down so that it's nowhere near as wide as it used to be, but still meets the functional needs of the school, maintenance department and stuff, while again providing the space to classrooms and students rather than hallway.
Okay. And here we have a little wet cement, so we're not going to step on that. And this is a
second grade classroom.
Great. And the last second grade.
The last second grade.
That's it.
So again, between 2 second grade classrooms is a large scale opening of sliding walls,
Okay.
so they can function together as 1 classroom or be closed off to form 2 separate classrooms. And if we turn around and then look where a first grade and a second grade classroom meet, it is a smaller opening that can be closed off. We anticipate that it will be closed more often. However, we did want to maintain the accessibility to Millie's Garden in the sense that the lower school was an open, collaborative working environment.
Great. Well, Darren, I want to thank you very much for taking us on this tour today, taking the time out of your busy schedule. It's very exciting, all the work that is being done, the progress. Looks like you're right on schedule.
We are right on schedule. There's not a tremendous amount of time left, but what you see here are really all the backbones and the systems that were pretty intensive to get in place. As the week moves on, we will be painting the walls, the flooring and carpeting will be coming in, and arriving tomorrow is the cabinetry and millwork. So this will very, very quickly, by the end of the week, begin to transform into a much more finished looking space.
Great. Well, thank you very much, and thank you all for joining us today.